and gentlemen, the American Cheering Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show, as we're always sponsored by Deters Consulting, Parks Yoga. Check us out on all the platforms. Chuck Holbrook asked me if my wife has been dressing me because I've been looking so dapper. I actually pick out my own outfits. This is actually my favorite tie. All right, Biden is no worker. All that's going on in the world, all right? Everything that's going on in the world. And Biden, they whole White House administration, they take Columbus Day off. Folks, I'm going to tell you something. I am so sick and tired of the lazy asses in this freaking world. You know what? If you're a 2-bit file clerk, all right, go enjoy your Columbus Day. If you are the president of the United States and you're part of that administration, we ain't got time for you to take off Columbus Day anytime, but especially yesterday. It's unbelievable. It's truly unbelievable. Josh, I want to make that a cut.
Yes.
All right, 11 Americans have been killed, and what's going on over there in good old Gaza Strip, Israel. And I'm going to unload a little bit more as we go through these topics. The music festival horror. A music festival is going on in Israel, and they attack the music festival on motorcycles, mopeds, vehicles. They come on with guns, kidnapping. It's unbelievable what happened at that music festival. Folks, if you don't think that's not coming to the United States soon, you're crazy. This is not about a Palestinian state, okay? This is about animals, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. You ready for this? The MSNBC Joy Wonder, Joy Reid, Jack Wagon of the Year, anytime you want to pick it, she says, this is not Joe Biden's fault. It's Israel's fault. Really? It's Israel's fault. Now let's get to the point. This is funny. I always call it Hamas. I know it's Hamas. That's how you're supposed to pronounce it. My good buddy Chuck Melman told me I call it hummus. That's a funny joke. Hamas. I always call it Hamas. All right. These are animals. I got to ask you a question, folks. I got to ask you a question. When was the last time Israel kidnapped women and children to hold them for hostage? When did the last time the United States capture women and children and hold them hostage? These sons of a bitches, these are animals. They kidnap women and children to hold them hostage. But of course, the Biden administration's made it clear they'll pay for hostages. They'll pay for hostages. And folks, I'm telling you right now, this is my position, and I think it's Israeli position. You got to try to get the hostages back, but screw it. You need to level these bastards. And unfortunately, hostages might be collateral damage. Unfortunately. These are animals. Who kidnaps women and children for hostages, then threatens to execute them? If you stop, they say they're going to shoot one at a time, execute one at a time for each attack on the Gaza Strip. Really? Then you had Israelis supporting the Palestinian that said, gas the Jews. They said, gas the Jews. Then you got Barack Obama weighing in. And after all this time, he says, well, you know, this is a shame, blah, blah, blah. This son of a bitch is the guy that abandoned Israel and helped lead to all this. He did the old wink and nod time and time again. And then he ended his statement with peace for both parties, blah, blah, blah. Screw you, Barack. They have threatened, they said they're going to execute a hostage with each attack that comes in. It's unbelievable. Then we're going to send arms to Israel, once again, just like what happened in Ukraine. It's after the fact, all the time. Then there's some discussion and some beliefs that some of the weapons left behind in Afghanistan. Is there any doubt that they find their way into the Hamas and Hezbollah and everybody else, Iran? Are you kidding me? So just think about that. Weapons used by, you don't think some of these missiles that are firing at us weren't stuff left behind? It's nuts. 31 Harvard organizations support Hamas. It's unbelievable. Hey, Jews, why the hell do you vote Democrat? Then you got Omar and posse. Man, oh man, oh man. Unbelievable. They are 1,000% okay with what happened. 1,000%. Then you got some more sad news. Eden Nemri, who is a Israeli champion swimmer, is one of the ones that were killed. These animals called a mom to mock that they've got her daughter. Another girl who's missing called the music festival, said, "Mommy, what should I do?" One couple hid their twin babies. This young couple here, they're dead. They hid their twin babies and they were discovered 14 hours later alive. Then you have the Robert Malley scandal. This is the Iran envoy that was recently fired. But there's some funny business going on. I'm telling you right now, this is crazy. And then you ready for this? Hamas says, we're willing to do a ceasefire now. Really? Kiss our ass. Ceasefire. You just lost the Gaza Strip. Unbelievable. And guess what? Folks, I'm not a war hawk. I'm for peace. I'm smart enough to know the way you get through peace is through strength and badassery. That's the way it works. Rand Paul voted against dome funding. And then you got Thomas Massie. Thomas Massie joined 18 Democrats to vote against the Abraham Accords. And as of last night, he still hasn't commented publicly about what just went down. Thomas Massie, who I'm running against. It's unfreaking believable. All right, shifting to some more news. 99% of illegals are not even asked for asylum. 99% of illegals get to stay. It's unbelievable. You ready for this? Kirby, spokesperson for the DOD, got pinned down by Marcia McCallum. I actually was watching this in my office when I was working yesterday. You can't make this up. The Biden administration believes climate change. Don't you love this phrase? Existential threat. Existential threat. This is an existential threat. You know who's an existential threat to humanity? Joe Biden and his whole administration. They are an existential threat. That climate change is more of a concern than freaking nuclear war. What do you think? You know what? I tend to think nuclear war is a bigger concern of mine than climate change. All right. Apparently, Joe Biden's been interviewed over 2 days for his document request. You know, it was all excuse making. Trump is not going to attend his trial this week. He went there last week to raise money and have fun. Heard the former congressman from Texas has dropped out. He's endorsed Nick Haley for president. You ready for this? These bozos sold off $300 million of wall for $2 million. It's sick. The Biden picked U.S. attorney to prosecute Hunter case, balked at it, said he didn't want to get involved. Next speaker, we don't know. Really weird. It looks like Jim Jordan's in the lead. They had a caucus, don't have a consensus yet. He's in the lead by the American people. They prefer him. You ready for Republicans prefer him? Kevin McCarthy said he's willing to be speaker again, if need be. Wells Fargo closing 267 branches. Do you know what this is all about? This branches stuff? It's going to be more consolidation, more control, more internet, less personal banking. I don't know about you folks, but I love being able to walk in to a branch near my office and talk to a human body about something. That's going away. And then this was the biggest news yesterday politically. I don't put these in necessarily the order because there's just so much going on. Robert Kennedy announced yesterday that he is running as a third-party candidate. And you know what? I regret I did not do this for governor of Kentucky. And the reason why is when the party that you're running on mistreats you, this is what you should do. The Democratic Party has mistreated Robert Kennedy. Good for Robert Kennedy. He's apparently going to go to Louisville. I want to meet the guy. By the way, just so you know, I'm for Trump. I don't agree with Robert Kennedy on a lot of things, but I agree with him on a lot of things. And I would rather have a Robert Kennedy running the country than a Joe Biden. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.